This video will cover everything we know about the boats in Grand Theft Auto 6 so far, and why it's going to be the best game for boaters ever. This isn't really a gaming channel, but as a huge high-performance boat enthusiast and a huge Grand Theft Auto fan, I wanted to start this discussion at the beginning of the GTA universe, and then we're going to dive into the latest trailer. Now, GTA games obviously focus on cars, since auto is literally the name, but people might not realize that boats have been in the franchise since the very beginning. Even the first Grand Theft Auto had a small red rib with a white outboard hanging off the back of it. It wasn't actually drivable without modifying the game, and it only showed up in a few missions. It was entirely absent from Grand Theft Auto 2. However, in Grand Theft Auto 3, they reintroduced a few boats: an enclosed cabin police boat with guns, a cabin cruiser type fishing boat, and the first boat that stuck around throughout the rest of the series, the Speeder, a small, fast-looking boat with a molded engine cover that hinted at hauling ass on the water. In GTA 3 Vice City, they introduced one of the coolest boats in the franchise called the Jetmax. With a long closed bow, small seating area, and a huge chrome V8 with over-transom headers, the Jetmax looked so freaking cool. Because the game was set in the 80s, they also included an homage to the iconic 38-foot Wellcraft Scarab used in Miami Vice. Grand Theft Auto 4 was a massive step forward in both graphics, water physics, and controlling the boats themselves, since it introduced a trim function, allowing the users to try to air out the hull of the boat to reduce the drag in the water and increase their top speed. This was also the first GTA game to feature competitive online boat racing, with up to 16 players at once. And if you knew how to trim out your boat, you pretty much could win every single time, because it was never really explained in the tutorial that trimming out increases your top speed. Having said that, this is also where I really started to question who was responsible for the boat stuff over at Rockstar. See, the Jetmax, which was previously a small jet boat with an exposed V8, was changed into a gigantic deep V offshore hull, which typically don't have jet drives. In fact, the model in the game itself has two stern drives. So why is it called a Jetmax? It doesn't make any sense. Moving on to Grand Theft Auto 5, the water physics got even better and reacted to the weather, added a huge variety of watercraft including jet skis, submersibles, sailboats, tugboats, as well as most of the boats carried over from GTA 4. I do think it's worth mentioning that in the DLC they included two things that I thought were pretty interesting. The first one being they included a classic Woody. I don't know if it's more like a Chris Craft or a Riva, what have you, but it's definitely teak, it's definitely wood, and it looks cool. They also included this freaking thing, boys. You see what's on the back of that? Those are not stern drives, those are not jet drives, those are surface drives. Someone at Rockstar was into boats enough to know what an Arneson drive is, and they modeled them and added them to this boat, which I think is way cool. At this point, I do want to stray from the GTA universe for a second and talk about another Rockstar game, Red Dead Redemption 2. Awesome game. However, there is a major glaring flaw when it comes to boats. I'm not sure how this passed testing, but right now, if you go into the rowboat anywhere in the game, it actually has the animation completely backwards whenever you turn. You see, whoever rigged this animation must have never used a rowboat in their life, so they flipped the animation that makes the boat go one direction versus the other. I'm not going to say, oh, literally unplayable. I just can't believe they put enough detail to have horse testicles accurately capture how saggy they are based on the relative climate, yet somehow screw up such a basic understanding of boats and oars, which humanity has known about for literally thousands of years. And somehow, not only did they produce it, they went through all the testing and they still haven't patched it. This is just ridiculous to me. Alright, back to GTA. So, Grand Theft Auto 6 is set in Miami, or Vice City, in the Grand Theft Auto universe, which is awesome because Miami has a huge boating culture. So in the trailer, we've already seen jet skis, we've seen an airboat, we've seen beach culture, we've seen... Whoa, hold on, what was that? Did you see those boats racing right there? Not her. Look past that deep V. Do you see what's back there? That is the first air entrapment hull in the Grand Theft Auto universe. So there's some sort of nerd at Rockstar that's aware of go-fast stuff in terms of boating. And what I'm wondering is, are they going to get the physics right on this? I'm really curious as to how this is going to pan out, because if it's just basically like the same exact physics but with a different hull that looks different, they kind of messed up. It could go either way at this point, because as you can see, they couldn't even get rowing correctly. But on the other hand, they did have someone model the surface drives with surface piercing props. Maybe there's a possibility that the boat nerd at Rockstar is going to get the same budget as the horse testicle guy, maybe not. But either way, I'm very excited about this. Also, in the last few games, you could customize tons of stuff. Does this mean that we're going to finally be able to customize boats? I really want to know where they're going to go with this. How cool would it be to have a 22-foot air entrapment hull with a giant outboard on the back of it that was the fastest boat in the game, but if you trimmed up too high, it would flip over and you'd fucking die. I think there's a huge chance here that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be one of the greatest boating video games of all time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Cheers, dudes. Till next time.